The Thunder won Game 4, and the Pacers fans are definitely not happy about the refereeing process, especially from Scott Foster. The extender, as they call him, struck again with his questionable calls, as 2 of them have caused the most controversy among the F1 experts. But is Scott Foster living up to his name? And more importantly, are the referees trying to keep the series alive in a vastly artificial way? Let's get something out of the way first. The Pacers would have likely lost the game despite the referees' miserable calls late in the 4th quarter. Their offense has crumbled, and the head coach, Rick Carlisle, admitted that as well, but that doesn't give Scott Foster the smallest right to officiate the way he did. As of now, it seems like he's living up to the name of being the extender, which means that whenever the NBA has worries that the series might end early, they send in Scott Foster to make sure it won't happen. What are the calls that have revved up the Pacers fans? I'll show you a clip from a play that happened late in the 4th, unraveling right in front of Foster's eyes. You can clearly see how SGA uses his right hand to push off the defender, Naismith in this case, and takes around 4 steps to make the shot. Not only did Foster not call the offensive foul, but he didn't even call the travel that followed by Shea afterwards. It's clear as the sky, either the NBA wants to see Game 7, or they are forcefully trying to make SGA the champion and the face of the league. I am not saying he doesn't deserve it. I am not saying he is not the legitimate MVP of the league. He's carried a super young team to the finals and beat some serious contenders on his way of doing so. But to push off your defender, take 3 steps on the side and attempt a shot, while the referee is doing you dead in the eye and not doing anything, I am sorry, but you are not beating the allegations. By trying to help Shea, it seems like the sport is just putting him in a bad position where NBA experts and fans won't like him at all. Whether this would continue in the following games, time will tell, but it's not the only controversy that was sparked by Foster. While Caruso was running for a fast break, Obi Toppin made sure to not allow any easy buckets, which is kind of an unwritten rule in the NBA if you have fouls to give. In this clip, you can see the foul for yourself, and then I'll talk you through the verdict of the referees. At first, you can see that Toppin might believe he has a chance to anticipate this shot and potentially block it, but in the eyes of Foster, this was a flagrant 1 foul. Yes, you heard that right. After review, it was called a flagrant 1. I have no idea what Foster expected from this game. Maybe for the Pacers players to act like it's a regular game in the season that doesn't change anything? The players are going to be aggressive. You can't expect softness when everything is at stake. It's not like Toppin smashed Caruso in the face or hit him in the face. He went for the ball and committed a foul. It's as simple as that, so the decision of Foster is going to be up for discussion for a longer period of time. Pat McAfee, the ESPN host, also raised his concerns about the refereeing process in Game 4. Even though the free throw merchant narrative hasn't been the case at all throughout the finals, the favorable whistles that SGA has been receiving are not to be joked with. The one that we talked about could have played a pivotal role in saving their season, which is the primary role of Scott Foster. And according to McAfee, the NBA needs to do something regarding this matter, because for the first time ever, we have 2 low-market teams that are playing their hearts out on the court. He's been joined by Ben Simmons, who said that he's glad to be here for the most Scott Fostery game ever. And unfortunately for Indiana, it seems like the momentum has shifted towards the Thunder with the latest win. If they wanted to have a strong chance to win the finals, they should have won the 2 games at home. Yes, we could be looking at a Game 5 win from the Pacers and then a potential final sealing Game 6 back in Indiana, but the chances of that happening are very slim. According to Stephen A. Smith, the momentum is now on the side of Oklahoma, and the Pacers cannot do much about it. Elaborating further on this, Smith said,
He went on a 12-1 run to end the game in the final 2 minutes and 58 seconds. This series is tied. They're going back to OKC, and the Thunder officially have the momentum in their favor right now.
What problem should the Pacers address if they want to see any chance of reaching Game 7? Let's not act like they didn't steal Game 1 away and presented a much bigger challenge to tackle down by the Thunder. But after all, the finals are not done and dusted in one game, and Haliburton should know that better than anyone else. The Pacers superstar acknowledged that such shifts in performance cannot happen if they want to compete with the OKC fair and square, and when addressing this, he said, "I have to do a better job of keeping pace in the game. That's on me. I've got to get us playing faster down the stretch." With 1:43 left in the game, the Pacers were down 2 points and they trusted Haliburton to make the shot. However, he airballed a three-pointer and couldn't get another shot until the game was well out off reach. But we can't pinpoint the loss entirely on him. Let's not forget that the Pacers have a former champion on their team, Pascal Siakam, back from his golden Toronto Raptors run in 2019. Siakam had no points and 1 turnover in the fourth quarter, emphasizing how poorly the Pacers performed when it mattered the most. That's precisely why we said earlier in this video that despite the poor calls from the referees, the Pacers probably wouldn't have won the game with such criminal performance from their superstars. And this is precisely what their head coach Rick Carlisle is aware of. The former champion with the Mavericks, yet another underdog team in 2011 against the big three of Wade, Bosh, and LeBron from Miami, spoke about the difficulties that his team faced in Game 4. Addressing this matter in a deeper fashion, Carlisle said, "We got stagnant. Their second shots were a big problem. When you're unable to rebound, it's hard to continue to play with pace and tempo. The ball was not being advanced quickly enough. We weren't creating problems, and we were up against the clock a lot." That's precisely what leads SGA to score 15 points in the fourth quarter, while having 20 in total in the first 3. Despite the great defense played by Nembhard for the majority of the game, the depth of Indiana was just not shown at all when it mattered the most. Let's not forget that one of their key players, Mathurin, needs to do a bit better on the offensive end in a constant manner. He missed 3 free throws and committed 2 fouls while the ball was yet to be inbounded by the Thunder. With a gameplay like this, I highly doubt the Pacers have something to look forward to. Just look at how close they were with such atrocious performance and missing free throws when it mattered the most. Be that as it may, we're headed to Game 5. Here the Thunder are definitely entering as favorites, and with the momentum on their side, we can only think of what's gonna happen once the home crowd erupts. They have the chance of becoming the world champions, and it's probably at the highest point now since the entire series started. OKC are yet to lead like Indiana have twice, and although 81% of the teams that went up 2-1 in the finals won the championship, that is yet to happen to the Pacers. With all this in mind, do you think that the Pacers have been treated unfairly by the referees? And more importantly, do you think Scott Foster lived up to his name of the extender? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.